Hey, I'm back. Anyways, quick little tip. If you ever see a YouTuber wear the same clothes and have the same position or whatever in multiple videos, it's because they uploaded those videos or recorded those videos the same day, unless they're jack poor and they wear the same thing in every video. Now that we got that out the way, here is how I intentionally manifested a move. Okay, so I remember turning 29 last year in 2020, and I remember thinking leading up to 29 years old, and when I turned 29, saying to myself and saying out loud multiple times when asked that I was going to move out of my house that I was living in before the age of 30, by the age of 30. How, and I believe I thought about this prior to turning 29, but they were just simply thoughts how I wanted to be on my own by the age of 30. Now, if we're really being technical, I always thought of being on my own for a very, very long time since I was a kid. But obviously, when you're, 11, 12, 13-year-old kid, it's not appropriate for a kid that age to be living on their own. So, yeah, there was that. And when I say there was that, I mean those were the thoughts. That wasn't the reality. I was still living with family, living with people. And I'm glad that was the case. Just because I had those thoughts doesn't mean that they were right. A lot of my thoughts are not right thoughts. And you will get to hear some of those unwrong or unright thoughts on this channel. Or at least when it pertaining to my life. So, how I intentionally manifested the move. I wish I can tell y'all, other than me simply just saying that I wanted it to happen. Now, did I really want it to happen? Yes, indeed. But was I actually planning for it to happen? No, indeed. I was not actually planning this move as soon as I turned 29. In fact, I didn't necessarily start planning until a month before I actually moved out of Boston, Massachusetts into a different state and a different city. Now, to even make it more of a random, unintentional, yet intentional, but unintentional, unintentional move, I moved into a state and into a city that I had no intention in moving in the first place. Kid you not. I did not intend to move to Charlotte, North Carolina. I never in my life thought of moving to Charlotte or North Carolina, period. Hell, if we're really talking about moving to the South, the only place in the South I've ever thought about moving to was Atlanta, Georgia. That was that. Other than that, there was no other places, definitely not Texas. Although there was a time in my life where I almost moved to Texas. But it definitely was not Texas. Florida's a little... Nope. Definitely not Alabama. Definitely not Virginia. Definitely not some other places within the South. No disrespect to the wonderful people out here in the South, all over the South. But you know exactly why, or you should know exactly why a lot of people, especially black people, are kind of wary about moving to the South. Now, it depends. It depends on the black person. A lot of black people move to the South and stuff, and I get it. I'm one of them. But, as in, we still do it, but we're worried about it. Anyways, how I did it without, it's not the smoothest of transitions, but it's not as bad as possible. As I stated before, I just kept talking about it. I just kept mentioning it to myself. I kept telling myself, this is what I wanted. But I didn't necessarily plan, like I said, until a month before the move actually went down. Now, once the month before the move went down occurred, I that's when I got serious. That's when I was like, okay, if this is going to happen, you're actually going to have to put your best foot forward. And every single day going forward, leading up to the day that you leave, has to be a move that is leading up to this big moment. And pretty much I started doing that in June of this year, and the move was July 9th. So I had a little over a month. I started the first day of June. So from, June 1st all the way, was it 31st? However many days are in June. So all the days in June, and then the first 8 days of July. So I had that time to prep myself and get ready. And I give you that timeline because, to me, I'm not the most calculated individual in the world. But let's just say 38 days. All it took me was 38 days for me to at least get my footing into the ground, into manifesting something that I've wanted, that I said to myself by when I turned 29 years old. And if I can do it in 38 days, I'm pretty sure that other individuals out there, people who are a lot more calculated, a lot more organized, a lot more, I guess, planners than I am, can do it in either less or probably the same amount of time, but can accomplish a lot more than I did. Because there's still a lot of work that I have to do, but the simple fact of the matter is, I think that the manifestation aspect of it has to do with the planning or lack of planning that I had. But either or, things are coming together. Things are working itself out. I'm still grinding. I'm still hustling. I'm still doing my thing. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. I just wanted to share that little tidbit with y'all. I'm not going to go too into the move right now and how things are going. That's because I want to save that for other videos. But yeah, this is kind of one of those shorter ones. And I just wanted to tell y'all that this is one of the very first situations. I'm going to say very first for me to pay attention, because I probably have manifested a lot of things in my life. To be honest with you, they just weren't times where I was aware of the power of manifestation, nor was I paying attention to it. So I'm going to consider this the first, but in actuality, in technicality, this probably isn't the first time I've manifested something in my life, okay? So with that being said, this is my first time actually manifesting something in my life by simply thinking it, and then thinking it periodically, but not necessarily planning something until a month before it happened. But again, I share my story not to say that is the perfect method to manifesting if you want the same thing for yourself or if you want something else. I do believe if you really, 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 truly want to manifest something, you need to put in a lot more work than just simply thinking about it from time to time and then doing something a month before that thing is going to happen, or doing something a month before and then expecting it to happen within 38 days. No. I guess some people can say you just got lucky. You just got lucky when you decided to actually go forward a month before they ended up getting the place. And anybody who were to say that, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue that if that's your assessment, because you could be right. I don't know, but I just thought this was something worth mentioning, worth talking about. And this is something that, to me, again, goes to the power of manifestation. So that's just me. If you have your own manifestation stories, I would gladly like to read them in the comment section below, or you can, let me know your thoughts. hell, if you want to do a video yourself and then send me it, that would be great. Let me know on social media as well. But that's that. Until next time, until next video, I'm going to try to manifest some more shit in my life. Hopefully you are too. Later.